Good morning, Avram. Good morning. It could be that maybe Yerachmiel, we'll see if he comes today. His mother passed away yesterday in America.
Oh,
So it could be that he won't be learning for a few days. Well,
sure.
so, I mean, the holiday Shavuot, that takes away his days of mourning, 7 days of mourning. So he'll be able to learn Torah afterwards. But that, and Mr. Smith is in the hospital. He's in the hospital. He's there for checkups. He had some sort of a problem with his heart or worry or something. So he might not be here also. So we'll see what happens today.
Maybe us. Anyway,
Also good. Listen, God gave. Yeah, sure. Abraham was.
Malchus Sheva Malchus. Yeah.
Oh. Good. That's we can only go up from here.
Yeah.
All right, so let's wait just a couple minutes and then we'll see. We'll try.
Okay.
We'll finish the mimer, or we'll at least get our almost finish it. We're in that mimer that's called Ata Horaisa Ladat.
I'm just going to get to filling off. Rabbi, I asked that question about the 12th and the 13th day, Yud Gimel Sivan. And,
Yes.
so apparently, because this year, there is actually a question of actually doing Tachnun on a Friday, whether to start Tachnun on a Friday, and this year Yud Gimel actually falls on a Friday. So
Okay.
I'll get an answer next week, and I'll let you know.
All right. Good.
I don't think you do. I think if most of the week you don't say Tachanun, then you don't start saying Tachanun until the following week.
Oh, that's good. I never heard that, but that sounds good to me.
Yeah, I think if it's like Roiv of the week you don't, then you don't say it the rest of the week.
That's good.
The question is, does a person want to say Tachnun on his birthday or not? That's my.
So Tachnun, if said at the right time, Tachnun is a wonderful thing.
Yes.
We said we do say Tachnun on the birthdays of the Rebbes.
Yes.
Okay. The birthdays of the Rebbes, we do say Tachnun.
Yeah.
Even though it's a happy day and etc., but we.
Yeah.
Can't see some silly message or something. I did.
Hi, boys. Pocket
Good morning.
I mean, you can't. Okay. Good morning. All right, let's go. Let's learn, everyone. Thank you. Okay, ready? We're on paragraph Vav. Ata Reita Ladad. Very good. Paragraph Vav. We're in paragraph 6. Just stand up here one second.
I'm coming, boy.
Very good. No, it's not that Mimor. It's the next one. Next one. That's right. That's it. No, you had it. There it was. Vav. What is that? That's a Shulchan Aruch. What is that? I can't see. It's too small. Yeah, that's a Shulchan Aruch that we did. That's Simon Tzadik Beis, right? No, that was Tzadik Aleph. Yeah, that's right. That was Tzadik Aleph. Okay, here we go. There we go. Oh, that is the Sicha that we were doing. We can do that also. But we'll do that afterwards. Let's now do the back to the Mimor. You were there for one moment. That was the Mimor was there. Oh. There it is. That's it. Go down to paragraph 6, please. Excellent. There it is. No. Is that? I'm sorry. Yeah, we'll go back up to paragraph 6. Let me see. That was it. Just something is blocking. 1 second. Here we go. 1 minute. 1 minute. All this thing. There it is. Omnam. But okay. So what's going on when we received the Torah? What happened was given to us this dew, this tal, dew that will raise the dead. That will raise the dead. And the Rebbe explained why will it raise the dead? Because it comes to this tremendously high essence of God. And the Rebbe explained that this level of dew is something that only God gives on his own. God gives it on its own. It's totally in Hashem's hands. This power to raise it, not like rain. Rain is something that comes from, we have to work from below to make rain. Just like rain comes from water that's evaporated. So also rain comes from, that's just a sign that rain comes from our prayers and our work, which is not the case. Dew, tal comes something automatically. It's something that's above our power to draw down, to bring into the world. The raising of the dead. Who can bring a thing like that? Says the Rebbe, but we still were left with the question that King David in his Psalms, in Psalm 68, he uses as a metaphor for this dew. He calls it rain, Geshem Nadavot. If he's talking about this, the dew that God enlivened the Jews with, that's what this sentence in Psalm 68 refers to, dew, then why does he call it rain? We haven't gotten to the answer yet. Let's go. Vav, but Afal became nevertheless, no more, we must say, move on, and it's understood, Vapashad and obvious, Me'atzmo, on his own, see is Geschmack zu sagen, and it's a real pleasure to say that God gave this dew, that's a present from him, that has the power to enliven the dead. It's God's essence that does away with all negative things, that it wasn't just in Matan Torah, she'inyan zeh yeshnu kavar achshav. It's already now. This is already here, right in front of us. Ukanoda, like it's known, she'akol nitan b'Matan Torah. That when God gave the Torah, he gave everything. Mashiach, all the future redemption, third temple, raising of the dead, everything is there when God gave the Torah. Vinyan, who means like this, Tehine Batanya, in the book the Tanya, Mavor, it's explained Rabbeinu Wazokin regarding this revelation of God that's going to be in the future, Ubafrat, and especially in the revelation and then the raising of the dead. This is in chapter 36, right near the end. Ukavar Hayala Olamim. This is the language of the Alter Rebbe in the Tanya. This revelation of the raising of the dead is going to be in the future, and it already was. Me'ayin's is something like this, B'shat Matan Torah, when the Torah was given. Kirikativ, like it says, Ata to the dot, that God, you showed us that we should know. Hainu, she'inyan zed, this revelation of the raising of the dead, kavar nimshach, it's already brought into the world at Matan Torah. It was already brought into the world when God gave the Torah. Velo'od, over there, and he stresses, and also another place in the Tanya, chapter Mem Zayin, he explains that the main thing that was given in the Torah was that God gave himself. The Creator actually revealed himself totally in the creation, in every aspect of the creation, in every molecule, in every human being, in every action, everything that was, the essence of the Creator was revealed. What's the essence of the Creator? Like it was before the world was created, before the pure godliness. And when man created God, that was revealed in the world. The world was called Gan Eden. It was a place where people wouldn't die. And this was, when Adam ate from the tree, it went away. But in Matan Torah, it was brought back. And not only that, that if we're exact at every word of what the Rebbe says when he describes this, the Alter Rebbe in the Tanya, he says, Kavar hayala olamim. It already was in the world. Yesh lomar, that means shenimshach begidrei olam. In other words, this revelation of the raising of the dead already was drawn into the world. Shezeh kolel gedra zman, namely in time, the gedra makom, and in place. Ukabeta pirushim, like you explain the two different definitions of the word olam. Olam means world, and olam means forever. In other words, olam means place, and olam means time. Shezeu shmo asher yikra lo b'lashon hakodesh. When it was said it was drawn down olamim, it means it was this revelation of the raising of the dead. The essence of God is right here, everywhere. Not just in the Holy Temple. The Holy Temple is just an example, a free sample of what's really going on in the whole world. Hamahava machaya makayam oto. This is the godliness. The name of a thing is what creates, enlivens, and sustains it. The name of a thing. That's why God created the world with words. Because the words are the conduit that God creates everything and what makes everything different. The Yesh Lomar, we can say, Shezeh the beer. This is the explanation of the Pitkam, no one saying that Matan Torah lo haya odapam. That Matan Torah, the giving of the Torah, will never be again. Because what happened in Matan Torah? What happened to the giving of the Torah? Like we said, that God actually gave himself. These words that are in the Torah is not just a book that someone can come along and say, well, God changed it. He changed his mind. He gave the Torah to the Jews, changed his mind. What do you mean changed his mind? This is eternal. What's written in the Torah is infinite, eternal, unchangeable, unalterable. It's Hashem himself. Kimikiv and Sha'akol Kavar Nitan B'man Torah, since everything was already given when God gave the Torah, if so, it doesn't have to be given again. Because if it was given, God creates time also. So if God revealed the source of creation, it means that it's there for all time. And since you don't have to have this revelation again, giving of the Torah, it's understood, there's no necessity to have the giving of the Torah. Again, it's already here. We have the Torah. The Torah is God's will. It'll never be changed. We have the revelation of the raising of the dead. It's here in the world. It's available. Al derech hamavor, like it's explained in several places. Shekal the Torah, that the whole entire Torah kolula was considered made of the 10 commandments. Shenitnu b'matan Torah, that was given in Matan Torah. I mean, we have a few small examples. One example is Elijah the prophet. Elijah the prophet did not die. He went up in heaven in his body, and he comes back regularly in his body. The Talmud Brachot, right in the beginning, starts off with, who was it, Rab Ashi or somebody. He saw Eliyahu Navi. He was dressed like an Arab, whatever. He came to him. Elijah the prophet comes to people physically in a body. Alder says similarly, it says, Ben Yanenu, it is by us. Shekol Adargos, that all these levels in the Torah, Kol Bechinas Tal Torah, including this level of the dew of the Torah, that's going to be revealed only in the raising of the dead. Everything was already given at Matan Torah. That's what's going on in the holiday of Shavuot. Okay, are you everyone with me? What's that? Okay, good. This was given to all the Jewish people. Kedeita, like it says in the Midrash, we're near to the end. That's right there, right in the end. Shat Torah, the Torah nitna. See the last word on your line over there. Third line from the bottom of the paragraph. The Torah nitna was given, l'kol echad ve'echad, l'fi kocho, that the Torah was not just given to all the Jewish people. It was given to each and every Jew. That's why the Ten Commandments are in the singular. Lo tirtzach, lo tin of. It doesn't say lo tirtzachu. I am God, your God, singular. Kol kol gama yonkim, even the babies, v'nashim, and pregnant women, even the fetuses. Hainu shafilu ubram b'mei iman. Hayu, they received the Torah at Mount Sinai. And not only that, Elagam kol and neshamos, all the souls that weren't born yet, they were all at Mount Torah. Et asher enenu imanu hayom. It's a sentence in the Torah. O neshama shekavar yordu. All the people, all the Jews that died in Egypt, everyone was there. All the souls were there, in physical form, in fetus form, in spiritual form. Every soul, every Jewish soul, past, present, and future, was at the giving of the Torah. So everyone has this implanted in their soul. This is what we're celebrating on Shavuot. And this itself, paragraph 7. Paragraph number Zion. And this itself, this level of the dew of the Torah. Kavar Nitan was already given at Matan Torah. There are two ways. The fact that this dew of the Torah, the power to enliven the dead, that's going to be revealed totally in the raising of the dead, one of the things that Mashiach is going to bring about, this has two aspects to it. Number one, the Evshar She'inyan Zeh could be She'inyan Zeh, that this is Tamun v'ne'elam kamo Otzer dahon yakar v'kamus v'chasum and kol roeh. It's already here, but it could be this revelation is hidden and concealed like a hidden treasure, an Otzer, a storehouse of a treasure, a great treasure, a kamus, which is hidden, the chasum and call, and no one can see it. Ukamo haTorah, just like the Torah in general. The Torah, before it was given, it says chemda ganuza. It was a precious treasure. Lifnei matan Torah, before God gave it to the Jewish people. The gam inyan zeh poel iloi b'Yisrael, that even if it's hidden and concealed, it still brings a tremendous elevation to the Jewish people. If it is announced that you won the lottery, you won $100 million, and they're putting it in your bank account. It's in your bank account, and you can't take it out right now. You'll be able to take it out. No one else can take it out. No one can touch it. It's yours, but the vault is sealed for another 10 years, 15 years, 100 years, but it's yours. It's yours, and it'll be your family's, whatever, it's yours. The Gamiyan Zeh Poel Iloi B'Yisrael, this makes you a rich person, even if you can't use the money. But if everybody knows that you have that money, everybody knows, then you're a rich person. You're a rich person. You have to figure out a way to get to it. Maybe it's possible to get a little bit earlier. Maybe you can borrow money. On this money, it's going to, right? In the Talmud, there's a lot of cases like that, where a person knows that money is going to come to him eventually, and he sells that right to someone else, right? I know that in 15 years, 20 years, I'm going to receive such and such an amount of money, and he sells the right to that money to somebody else. Right, I'm going to get $1 million. I'll sell it to you. You can have it for $500,000. But at least the person is rich. He knows that he has the money. That a person who has in his possession a tremendous riches, even though he doesn't use it, for some reason, he puts it away in escrow or something. Nevertheless, the person is, how do you say, more important. Is considered to be a rich man. So this is also the law. And like it says, according to how much the person can potentially get his hands on money, this is how much the person is worth. If a person says, I put my value, I'm going to give my value to the Holy Temple. So it makes a big difference if this is a person that's a multi-billionaire, or it's a person that doesn't have so much money. It doesn't have, he lives from hand to mouth. A person says, I donate all my total worth to the Holy Temple. How much does he give? So they have Kohanim come and they estimate how much is the person is worth. They say, well, how much do you have? I don't have anything. Says somebody taps him on the shoulder, says, yeah, but he has a father that left him $1 billion and it's in the bank waiting for him. So the man is worth $1 billion or maybe a little bit less, because he can't. It all depends on how available it is to him. If a person has a tremendous amount of money, even though he doesn't use it, then that person is considered to be rich. Until it's understood, even it's a tagrelud, even in business. Right, this is a rich man. He won the lottery. They put it away from for 10 years, but he's rich. It's even outside of Israel, even the Goyim, they understand that if a person has a tremendous riches that are kept in the bank, that the person is a rich person, even if he can't get to it right now. Similarly, it's also with us. We Jewish people, each Jew is tremendously rich. We have this level of Ta'al Torah, the dew of the Torah, that's the secret of life, the secret of infinite life. It's like a hidden treasure B'yad Yisrael in the hands of the Jews from the time the Torah was given. Because we know this, so therefore we know we will be evaluated in a much more hot and a much more, a much more valuable way by means of the Kohen. Elokechem Kohen. Who is the Kohen? God. So when we know that every single Jew, you see that Jew, see that guy, he's a multi-billionaire. What are you talking about? Why is you know him? You see, he's Jewish. Look, the guy says a little Jewish star hanging on. The guy's Jewish. So that makes him a billionaire. Says he's even more than a billionaire. Billionaire is nothing. He has the secret of the raising of the dead. He has the secret, how much people would pay, money they would pay to raise up back their mother, their father, who knows what. They could bring them back eternal life, or get eternal life for themselves. And this spoil this is even the non-Jews will realize this. This is a Jew. We have this amazing treasure. Each and every Jew was given. But nevertheless, this is not the real new thing that was given. This is not the real gift was given to us in Tanya, in the Torah. When God gave the Torah, true, He gave this tal, this dew for raising the dead, but there's something greater. Torah, because even before the Torah was given, before the Torah was given, the Torah was also there. The novelty of Matan Torah, that the Torah was drawn down to the Jewish people, but it was drawn down by penimius. It was drawn down in an inside way, by gilui b'pashtus. The Torah existed before the world, and the raising of the dead was there also before the world was created. The novelty of Matan Torah was that it was given to each and every Jew in a deep, intimate, personal way. Al derech zeh, similarly, the dew of the Torah. It's not that it was given in a concealed way when the Torah was given. It was put in the bank, and we'll be able to get to it. We're rich. We have it, and the raising of the dead is going to be revealed. Okay, but that's not the main thing. What? It has to have an effect on us actually right now. Right? If somebody says, listen, this man has $1 billion in the bank, but he can never touch it. So it's like you don't have it. It has to be, maybe it affects a little bit something right now. Can I at least go and see it? I can do. Like it says, ki chachmatchem ubinatchem. That's the idea of the Torah and of this do of the do of the Torah. The main thing of the Torah is that it is chachma and bina. It has to come into our mind, into our personal life. Limud v'havana havasaga. When we learn the Torah, we understand the Torah, and when we realize that the Torah is God's Torah and that the Torah contains in us this power of raising the dead, that's what was really given to us in Mount Sinai. Let's explain this a little deeper. Mishnah, it says there's a Mishnah in Chagiga. Ein dorshim b'maisa merkava b'yachid. Eli in keno yachacham umevim b'dato. You're not supposed to learn the secrets, certain types of secrets of the Torah, mysteries of the Torah. You're not supposed to teach one person singly, because a person can misunderstand things and he's got no one to work on it with. Unless this person is really tremendously wise and he understands deeply, he won't take things simply. You can learn the secrets of the Torah and a person can misunderstand. You can think that God is a human being. You can think that God is the Yesh Lomer, we can say the Al Yadei Limud Yachid, the means of a person learning alone, Zeb Maisa Merkava, a person learning what's called Maisa Merkava. Maisa Merkava means it's talking about like the angels and things like that. And now some people say Maisa Merkava is how God put the letters together, Markiv. Anyway, the secrets of the creation. Hainu Penimis Torah, namely learning the inside of the Torah. Harihu Motzi Al Yadei. By means of the person learning the secrets of the Torah, by means of this, he exempts all of his pupils, v'kol klal Yisrael, and understanding the inside of the Torah. What's going on? When God gave the Torah, he gave the whole Torah. It says Pshat, Remez, Drush, and Sod. The secrets of the Torah, every Jew has to learn all the Torah. The Torah was given to the Jewish people, including all the secrets. The Arizal has very, very harsh words to say about rabbis that don't have any connection at all with the secrets of the Torah, the inside of the Torah, the 10 Sfirot and the idea of Tzimtzum and something. You have to have some idea, at least what this is. You have to learn. If a person doesn't learn, then it's almost just borders on idolatry, because you really believe that God is some sort of a separate being, and that we're a separate being. What's the idolatry? That we believe that we are a separate existence. There's something other than God. It's called Shtei Reshuyos. So you have to learn the secrets of the Torah, but some people can't learn it. So it says if one person learns, and he's the rabbi for everybody, he knows these secrets, so when he decides Torah laws, this is implicit inside of his Torah laws. It's all implied there. But Alpi Mashin is what it says that the Matan Torah was given to everybody. So we have to say Shagam and Yanzeh, this whole idea of understanding the do of the Torah, the secrets of the Torah. It's not enough if just one great person learns the Torah and that he has an influence on all the world. Lubavitcher Rebbe learns, or the Baba Sali, he learns, that's good enough. Lubavitcher Rebbe learns, that's enough for all the Ashkenazic Jews. And the Baba Sali learns, it's good for the Sephardic Jews. And the Rashash learns, that's good enough for all the Yemenite Jews. So it doesn't work like that. Since God gave the Torah to all the Jews, so every Jew has to learn these ideas. We can say every Jew has to have this do of the Torah inside of his mind a little bit, to understand it a little. We can say this is a chidush of the Torah's Chassidus. This is the whole novelty of Chassidut. The Torah, that there can be the learning of the secrets of the Torah. This is the level of the Talabadulcha. This is what's called the white dew, where it drips down from, it says Atik Kadisha, from the essence of God that enlivens the dead. That we can have these ideas, Bhadvana Bhasaga, and understanding and grasping. You can actually learn about what's going on in the world of Atzilus, how God Chachma relates to Bina, relates to Das, and how that relates to us, most important, down here in this physical world. You can learn all these secrets and these mystical names and gematrias and things like that. It's very nice, but the whole essence of it is to bring it down into the physical world right now, that we should have more love of God, more fear of God, more devotion to the commandments, to learning. But often the person, like it says that you should be fed from it. A person should get energy and inspiration. Shebedor to code mean that the earlier generations, Hayata, this was Hagbala, there was a limitation. Ein dorshim b'maisim merkava b'yachid. It says you can't teach one person these secret ideas. But nowadays, says the Rebbe Be'erev Shabbos, we are right before the total redemption. Harya Pesach Din, the law is in the Shulchan Aruch, that in Erev Shabbos, that it says that you have to taste from the food of Shabbos. You have to taste from the food of Shabbos to see if it's good. You don't want on Shabbos where your wife serves you and say the food is no good. The food is Toamel Chaim Zachu. Those who tasted will merit to life. In Kain Tzorech Liot, there has to be now the taste and this revelation of the dew of the Torah that will be revealed in the future. We have to taste it. How do we taste it? Namely, Hasaga, Havana Hasaga B'Pinimis Torah. Namely, learning Chassidut and trying to bring it into our mind a little bit, how it is that God creates the world and how it is that God gave us his inner wisdom of the Torah. Even though it's totally beyond our understanding, but a little tiny bit we can drip in, and we can understand a little. That's what we're doing right now. And who's doing it? Simple people like us. That's the whole essence of the thing. We don't have to be genius and the holy spiritual people that are removed from the world, that the whole world has absolutely no effect on us whatsoever, that we can sit days and days and just meditate on godliness. We don't have to be people like that. We can just be simple people. But now we can understand why King David said, when he was referring to this dew that enlivened the dead, that he called it rain. Geshem nedavot tanif Elokim. The rain, generous rain, you dripped down, God, to your people when they were weak on Mount Sinai. Sha'atal Torah, that the dew of the Torah, of Matan Torah, is called by the name of rain. Why? Ki tachlit the tal. The whole purpose of this dew that enlivened the dead back then in Mount Sinai, and that God gave it for all time. Hu shetiya bo gama maila de geshem. It should also have the quality of rain, which we said rain is something that we cause. We have a part in it. We're partners with God, so to speak, in bringing rain. Dew is something that God does on his own. We have no comprehension. We have no connection to it. So, but that's not the idea of dew. Dew is supposed to be like rain, that we're also partners in God in bringing it. Va'ad until sheyum shech b'havana, that it can actually be drawn down into our understanding. We become like partners with God in bringing the rain, bringing the dew. That we have a little tiny understanding. It's relevant to us like the rain is, which is the outside of the Torah. That's what it means. You, God, have shown us in order to know Keshem Elokim, that Hashem Yudke Vavke, which is above. The creation is in the creation. Ein od milvado, and there's nothing except for God. That this was given at Matan Torah. This was given when the Torah was given. Namely, that God showed the Jews. They felt, they understood, they internalized. They were enlivened by this dew that is right now, it's here right now, and in the future it's going to be totally revealed. But we can also get a little bit of revelation of it by learning the inside of the Torah, Pinimiyut Torah. Al derech, similarly, it's drawn down every year, B'zaman man Toratenu, in the time of the Torah. So it comes out that this idea, Chasidut Chabad, is not just for Chasidi Chabad, and it's not just for special people. And it's not even just for religious people, religious Jews. And in a way, it's not even just for Jews. It's for the whole world. To show what is there, what the unique revelation that was at Mount Sinai was the secret of eternal life. And it's everyone has an access to this. How? Through the ideas of the Chabad Rebbes. That's why it says that the Mashiach is going to bring all this about, and every Rebbe of Chabad is the Mashiach of his generation. Kibishat man Torah, when the Torah was given, there was a revelation of the dew of the Torah. This, whatever is called the tal, the white dew, natif ma'atika kadisha, that drips down from this inside of the crown of God, the essence of God, called atika kadisha. Shazuhu chad im atzmos, that this is one with the essence of God, Baruch Hu, the source of all life. That's what it means. Ata Horaisa ladat. Ata means you, God. Do you. Atzmos ein sof Baruch Hu. Yesh lomar, we can say the zeu gam masha yidu, what's known as Chag Shavuos. That's why the holiday of Shavuos is attached with Moshe Rabbeinu. That Moshe Rabbeinu received the Torah in Sinai, and David HaMelech and the Baal Shem Tov both passed away on Shavuot, the holiday of Shavuot. The Atzeret, Yom HaHilula, the Atzeret is the day of the passing away of David HaMelech, and this is especially the Inyan Zeh Hu B'Hadgasha is stressed this year. This is the Rebbe said in Tafshin Mem Vav, that David HaMelech died on Shabbat. I guess that year that the Shavuot was on Shabbat. Uveshana Zu Chal Yom Tov Sheni Shalatzir b'Shabbat. Oh, like our year, the second day of Shavuot outside of Israel, they have 2 days of Shavuot. So the second day is going to be on Shabbat. So that was the day that David HaMelech passed away. Gam Yom HaHilula, and it's also the day of the passing away of the Baal Shem Tov, like we said before. V'yesh Lomar, we can even say more, that the holiday of Shavuot is also the day that Moshe Rabbeinu passed away. Moshe Rabbeinu, he passed away on the 7th day of Adar. How can the Rebbe say that Moshe Rabbeinu passed away on Shavuot? Shahari Bishat Matan Torah, because when the Torah was given, Parchan Ishmasan, there went up the souls of all the Jewish people. And God brought this back with the dew that he's going to bring. The whole Gemara over there in Shabbos, and what was it, page 88? With the dew, God brought it back. All the Jews died for an instant. We have to say the Inyan Zeh Yabakal Yisrael says all the Jews died. L'katanim, from the smallest until the biggest. Shari betach shenimsach tal, this dew of the Torah that came to enliven the Jews, this is drawn down to all the Jews, each and every Jew, including Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe, it says, was on Mount Sinai. He could take the revelation, but nevertheless, it says that by merit of the fact that their souls jumped out of their bodies, they received this dew. So it could say that Yom Zeh Aya Gam Inyan Yetziat Nishmata, going out of the soul of Moshe Rabbeinu, also the day of the passing away of Moshe Rabbeinu. And in any case, these Moshe Rabbeinu for sure is connected to the giving of the Torah, because he was the one that gave the Torah. Moshe Kibul Torah Misinai. These three, Moshe, Rabbeinu, David HaMelech, and the Baal Shem Tov, they are connected to the Hamshachas, this level of the dew of the Torah. Yisrael ba'ofen the Havana Vasaga, understanding. There's the Gemara, they think, what is in Sota that says that Moshe Rabbeinu didn't die. Right? Moshe Rabbeinu didn't die. And we say, David Melech Yisrael Chai V'Kayom, it's a Gemara in Rosh Hashanah. David Melech Yisrael, and Moshe, and the Baal Shem Tov said that he could, if he wanted to, he could avoid death. He could go up into heaven like Elijah the prophet. But he wanted to do things in a normal way. That's the essence of Hasidut, that everything should be in a normal way. Well, but Moshe, in my Moshe, it says, Torah Tzivalanu, Moshe, Morashaki Lat Yaakov, that Moshe gave, Shenatan, that he gave, or Moser, and he gave over the whole entire Torah, including all the revelations of the Torah, including this dew of the Torah. Moshe gave it to all of the Jewish people, but often the Yerusha, in a way that it is an inheritance. An inheritance is something which is given to you regardless of your, personality, character qualities. A son inherits his father, etc., no matter what, if the son is religious, he's not religious, he's good, bad. Then mitit inyan Yerusha, the whole thing is kishenimsa bebaluto shel yorish legamri. A true idea of an inheritance is when the one who inherits receives this inheritance totally. Namely, the Torah is a Yerusha to us. It's a Yerusha. God, he gave it over as a, passed it down totally. Similarly, how does it mean totally? That we can even understand it, we can integrate it into our day-to-day life. Similarly, we see amazing thing now with this corona, right? Everyone was explaining, nobody understands what it is. To this day, they're coming out now and they're saying, we don't know if the masks really worked, we don't know if social distancing works. Some countries, they didn't do any social distancing and less people died and everything is okay. And no, I have no idea. Quarantines, they should be quarantined. They don't have no idea whatsoever. But just the idea of what happened made everybody afraid. Everybody afraid. Don't go out in the street. Don't talk to people. Don't touch people. Don't breathe. Don't smile. Don't laugh. Don't look. Don't open your mouth. Don't open your eyes. Don't touch. Don't touch your face. Don't touch it. Watch it. Everybody's just petrified. But suddenly they have absolutely no. But why are they petrified? From ideas. Just an idea. Nobody saw the germs. Nobody saw this, right? Every person that dies, this person died. That's it. There's the corona. It's going to be in your house. It's going to be that. People don't die. People die all the time. Good. More people die. But everybody was just from ideas. And the whole world was affected. The whole entire world. It's an interesting thing that the 7 Noahide commandments are all negative things. Don't kill, don't worship idols, don't commit sexual crime, don't. Is it possible one person is going to come up and tell the whole world to hold themselves back, to restrain themselves, and that they'll listen? Don't kill, don't steal. Here we see that's what happened with this corona. Everyone stay out. Don't go outside. Don't look. Don't touch. Don't this. The whole world was affected, right? I mean, maybe if something good came out of this, we can see that this is a possible thing. And why? Because of an idea. Just because of ideas. They were all convinced, right? The media convinced it's going to be bad. It's worse. It's going to get worse than that. Worse. You thought that was worse. It's going to be even worse. This is going to be the second. That is going to be terrible. Worse. Be afraid. You should be petrified. If you're committing suicide is better. Just what's the question? Instead of being petrified and depressed all the time, that's what's happening. What's happening just from ideas, just from people's minds going around. Says the Rebbe that's the whole idea of the inside of the Torah. Positive ideas, life, joy, happiness. You're special. God is creating you. God loves you. You're unique. You have something to give to the world that nobody has to give. The world needs you. You're necessary. You're indispensable. Right? That's the idea of the do of the Torah. A person can say, what, God? Who even says God exists? Here, look, it comes into your inside. The essence of God comes into a person's mind, his inside. Similarly, David. David, Malka Mashiach, David, it says the Mashiach. The whole idea of the Mashiach is Gile revealing the inside of the Torah of the future. David, it says, David is Melech Mashiach. David says, the Rambam says that David was the first Messiah, and we're waiting for Mashiach ben David. Samach Lamotzei Shabbos, it says that David, King David, that he was Mashiach. That's the Gila, the Inyan Zeb, Hadgasha Yoser, Samach Lamotzei Shabbos. This is especially revealed this year, right next to the going out of Shabbos outside of Israel. It was the second day of Shavuos. Zman Suda David, the time of the meal of David Malka Mashiach. The meal the Jews make after Shabbos is called the Malava Malka. It's called it's called the meal of David Melech Mashiach. It says that God told David he was going to die on Shabbos. And so every Shabbos that David Melech made it through, he made a meal afterwards. He knew that he was going to live the whole next week. So this meal is called the meal of David Melech Mashiach. The whole idea of David, he is the primer of the Mashiach. That's what was given on Shavuot. There's also the idea of the Baal Shem Tov. The Baal Shem Tov, he also was revealed the inside of the Torah, but often that he spread out the deep well springs, the essence of the Torah. The Torah is called water, and the secrets of the Torah are called the source of the water, the well springs. They're spreading them out to the furthest places. The Bizaman Man Torah, at the time of the giving of the Torah, this idea of the do of the Torah was concealed. And afterwards, Lefi Erech, irrelevant. And afterwards, it was revealed more by means of David. And afterwards, it was revealed more by means of the Baal Shem Tov and his pupils, and the pupils of his pupils, until it came to the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe. Shechirusham, that the whole idea of all these was Hafatzat Mayanot, spreading out the deep well springs of the Torah, chutza, so that it would be appreciated by everyone. I mean, you have to realize what we're reading about over here. The world is not concerned with such things. Judaism is not concerned with such things. Nobody who's thinking about the whole entire world is going to see God. They'll all be revealed God because of the Torah, because of the. Who has even an idea like this? Anyone who's thinking about taking over the world, they're usually thinking about taking it over in the name of communism, in the name of some sort of other religion, some sort of idolatry or something. Everybody's going to believe like me. That everyone in the world is going to be attached to the creator of the universe. Right? The whole world is going to be attached to it, and it's going to happen through the Torah, only through the Torah. You can say that's very chauvinistic, who says with the Torah. Here, that's the whole idea of the giving of the Torah. Why didn't any of the other religions make up a story that they also received the Bible? Right? They also received their Bible from God. There was millions of people. Why? Because their Bibles, what they have, are not, first of all, they're not from God. And second of all, they don't have any power to enliven it. It's not positive enlivening. It's all talking about after you die, whatever. Torah is the purpose of the Torah. All the other religions are talking about die. You're going to die. What's going to happen? The purpose of Judaism is to eradicate death totally. There won't be any more death. By the others, death is their calling card. That's what they if without death, nobody's going to believe in these other religions. Judaism, the whole essence of Judaism is exactly that, to do away with death. There won't be any other religions. They won't have any drawing power. The Torah is eternal. Hainu shehi hora nitzchis. This is an eternal teaching for all the Jewish people. And God does not request only according to the ability of each and every one of us. Each and every Jew, male and woman, male and female. Hari. Also, the women were there and they received the Torah, and they were given the Torah and they received the Torah. The women were also there. Says the Rebbe, not the women were also there, the men were also there. Adarabah, Kasiva says, first of all, called to Naber Beit Yaakov. Beit Yaakov are the women. These are the women. The women, they received the Torah first. Oba'ofen, the Amira Raka, and they received in a nice way. The men had to receive, but the daber has been spoken. Nitana koach sheyeh limud b'chinas tal shebetorah. Now at the Torah, when it was given, it gave us the power that we could reveal the dew of the Torah. Uba'ofen, in a way of havana v'asaga, understanding and grasping. Like in every law of the Torah, the main thing is ma'aseh b'pashtot. Like the whole essence of the Torah is to bring it down into actual deed in the physical world. That should affect our hearts. We should have more love of God, more fear of God, more awe of God, more faith in God. But mainly it should come down into our thoughts. We should think more about Hashem. And we should speak more about Hashem. We should say things that God wants us. And we should action. But it should be filled with the feeling of the permeated with the depth, the mystery of Hashem. What we're doing is something incredibly, incredibly important and filled with mystery and meaning. Alder says also in the Inyan of the Gilei B'chinas Tal Torah, the revelation of the Torah, the dew of the Torah in the future. She'ikar, the main thing is that it should be simply not some sort of a gematria or something. No, She'medaber Hashem zu halach, that when we say midvar Hashem, that the word of God, this is the law. We will come to Dvar Hashem Zehakates. It says that the word of God, this is the end of all suffering, the end of all death, the end of all ignorance, the end of all darkness. The Geula Amitit Vashlema, with a true redemption by means of Mashiach Tzidkenu, Bimei Rabbi Yameinu, quickly now in our days, Ba'agala Didan Mamash. So by means of all of this, by accepting the Torah in a happy way, in a joyous way, in a meaningful way, Simcha B'Panimius, is we'll make it happen, and we'll see all this happen and immediately. Amazing. Imagine all the dead people raise up from the dead. Incredible. Can you imagine how many Jews, millions and millions of Jews, that they died giving their lives for God, a tremendous act of selfless heroism, devotion to Hashem, and nobody even knows it. They were alone, right? They were given the choice to either change the religion, and they said, no, I'm going to die. How many Jews just died because they were Jews? Millions and millions and millions. How many? And nobody even knows about it. Nobody even knows where they're buried. And the raising of the dead, all of them will raise up. Incredible. And they'll all understand what an amazingly good thing it was that they died in such a terrible, painful, tragic way. How could it possibly be? But that's what's going to be. It says, what is it? Yekitzu v'yarananu shochni afar. It says they will wake up and rejoice, those who dwell on the ground. Good. Then it'll be fulfilled what we pray for every day in the second prayer of the Shemona Esrei, Mechaya Mesim, the raising of the dead. Right? We said that the Mechaya Meitim Ata, that God, you raise up the dead. Good. All right, my friends, have a meaningful and a blessed Shavuot, and have a happy and a peaceful and holy Shabbat. And God willing, we'll be back together on Sunday at 8:15. Good?
Good. Thanks, Rolf. Good to hear of Yom
My
Tov.
pleasure.
And a good Shabbos.
Shalom, good Shabbos.
Story.
Yom Tov, good Shabbos.
Oh, a story. Right. Wow, it's good.
Okay.
Good thing the kids are here, man. Story.
Well, okay. We got a story.
All right. Let's see, what story should I tell you? Did I ever tell you the story of Rabbi Mendel Futterfass and the Cossack's horse? Huh, kids? Did I tell you that story? Cossack's horse? No. Okay, I'll tell it to you now. All right. Like I told you before, when Rabbi Mendel Futterfass was in Siberia, so he heard a lot of stories, especially in the long winter nights when they kept everyone in their barracks, the prison. So one of the stories that he heard was from a Cossack. Now the Cossacks were fighters, very, very fearless and strong, brave fighters. And mostly they fought on horseback, especially in World War I. A lot of the warfare was done on horseback. Tanks and jeeps and things like that. Tanks that were just, it was new. There wasn't much motorized of anything. And so the Cossacks were really amazing warriors. But they were loyal to the Tsar. And because they were loyal to the Tsar, so anyone loyal to the Tsar in any way, or that could be loyal to the Tsar or the oil, whatever, and Stalin put them in Siberia, and eventually they were all killed. But in any case, this Cossack, he told a story about his horse. And he said that in Russia, a regular horse cost, let's say, 2 rubles. And a working horse cost 5 rubles. And a Cossack horse, and like a person would make like 2 rubles a month. That's how much a person would earn. So a working horse and a Cossack horse would cost 500 rubles. So how could it be so valuable? So he explained how they would catch a Cossack horse. He said, first of all, a Cossack's horse was like one with the Cossack. And they could jump over, low houses, and like 2 Cossacks on horses could like quiet down a whole riot, and they were awesome warriors. They had like spears and whips and swords and things, and they could use it all, bows and arrows and guns. They could shoot everything they could do. I don't know bows and arrows, but they were guns, and they could do everything on horseback. And the horses were fighters also. The horses were also fighters. He says, how did they get such a horse? So he explained to Rabbi Mendel how they would find a Cossack horse. He said, a Cossack horse wasn't like every other horse. Like I explained to you, the things that they could do, they had no fear. How did they catch them? He said there was a special group of Cossacks that was their job, was to catch horses or Cossacks. How would they do it? They would ride in their horses until they saw a big herd of horses. Sometimes it'd be a herd of horses, 1,000 horses, 500 horses, 2,000 horses. And then they would situate themselves, they would fire their guns, and the horses would start to run, and they would direct all these horses to a river, a certain spot on a river that had already been predetermined. And they would force the horses to go into the river. Now, horses can swim. And on the other side of this place, the river that was sort of wide, the river, and the river had a current to it a little bit, but the main thing is the river was wide. And on the other side of the river were already waiting another group of Cossacks, and they were waiting to see which was the Cossack horse, and that was what they would catch. What was the Cossack horse? So he said the horses would jump into the water, and they would swim. So there were 4 types of horses. There were regular horses that they could swim, they had the stamina and they had the strength, and they could get over to the other side, and they would run away to eat grass and do what horses do. Then there were the old horses. The old horses, those were horses that they got into the middle, but they didn't have the strength or the stamina, and they would drown. Then there were the young horses. The young horses, they had the stamina, they could go, but they didn't have the strength. They didn't have the strength. It took them a long time to get to the middle, and when they got to the middle, right, it was very difficult for them to continue on because they didn't have the strength. They would lose their strength. They could keep going, but they were just floundering around in the middle, and who knows if they could get to the other side before they lost their strength. That's 3 types. And then there was a 4th type of a horse. That horse would get across on the other side, like with all the regular horses, but it wouldn't run away like the regular horses. It wouldn't run off into the woods, whatever. It would turn around and look into the river and wait to see if there were any small horses, young horses that were floundering around, churning water, like they say, and they would jump back into the river, and they would grab onto these young horses and drag them back. They drag them to safety, drag them over. They would help them to cross the river. So that's this other group of Cossacks that would stand on the other side, and that's the horse that they wanted. That was a Cossack's horse. They would wait until this Cossack's horse jumped in and brought 10, 15, 20, till he was a little bit tired, and then they would throw paint on him. And when the Cossack's horse realized that he was marked, he would run away, and they would chase him. They'd have to chase him for a long time. He was very clever and very strong, until finally, and he had wasted a lot of his energy also helping these other horses. And finally, when they caught him, they would bring him back to the camp, and then they would lift him up with ropes, lift him up, and they would bring the Cossack that was going to buy him, that was going to be his, then he would bring a rubber hose and he would beat this horse. The Cossack would beat it. Wouldn't break any bones, wouldn't go to just beat it, then give the horse pain until the horse was just almost fainted, passed out. Then they would lower the horse down, and this Cossack, he would feed it. As soon as it got better and got stronger again, which didn't take a long time, it was hoisted up again until this horse knew that he had an owner. And then after that, the Cossack would, little by little, he would ride on it, he would train it. So that's a Cossack's horse. So Reb Mendel thought about this, and he thought, what was the point of the story? Why did I hear this story? He said, oh, I understand. He said, a Cossack's horse, that's a chassid. A chassid is a person that he's wild, he's crazy, but he cares about helping other people. He cares about helping other Jews. But it's very difficult to tame him. Very difficult to tame him. It's very difficult, in our case, for a chassid to tame himself. Very, very difficult. But once he's tamed, he becomes a Cossack of the, becomes a horse of the Rebbe. In this case, the Cossack is the Rebbe. The Cossack of the Rebbe, then he can do anything. He's got tremendous power. And that's who we are. We are Cossack horses. Have a happy holiday and a good Shabbos.
Bye.
Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach, Chag Sameach.
And what about those cakes? I'm going to get cakes.
Yes, you are. Yes, you
All
are.
right. Okay. I'm here.
But
Okay, but call me up first because I'm going somewhere today. I'm going to be going somewhere like from 10 o'clock until 11 or something like that.
okay, no, it'll probably be in the afternoon. My wife's still cooking.
Okay.
You can Zoom me some cakes if you want.
You don't need me.
All right.
Thank
You come to Israel, I'll save a cake for you. Come to Israel and I'll save a cake for you, all right? I'll put it in the freezer. I said, come to Israel and I'll save a cake for you. I'll put it in the future, in the freezer.
Thank
Shalom.
Hello.
Hag Sameach, Yechia Melech.
you.